Hey guys, and welcome to the eighth keynote of AO Ventures. This is our second last week of keynotes before we start prepping for Demo Day. I'm here with Jacob and Matt, and they're here to give us a presentation on best practices for developing a successful crypto project on AO and Arweave. So if you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to ask them in the comments, and then we'll stay on after the presentation is done to answer a few of them. So with that being said, I'm excited to pass the mic over to Jacob and Matt, and we can get started. Here, I'll move the presentation down.
Hello, guys. We've got some treat for today, and this will be the best practices for Web3 dev founders and tips and tricks from both of us. This is Mateusz Stasiak, and I'm with Jakub Wojciechowski, and we will focus today on this topic. There is a quote usually in the presentation, so we need to honor that and have that one going. And there were plenty of different authors that we were thinking about, and this one is the one that we got the closest to us. And Web3 is owned by builders and users, orchestrated with tokens. So I think that AO is amazing space to interact with tokens and with both builders and users. So this is probably the idea that we took the quote from, and we will probably think about us and make short introduction about Redstone, Oracle, and Warp. So, Jacob, if you could tell us something about Redstone.
Absolutely. Excited to be in here and sharing our experience. Obviously, we don't have the recipe for success, but we'll be more than happy to share everything we learned, but maybe a few words about what we are building. Interestingly enough, everything started doing the very first batch of Arweave incubator. So I'm guessing we are in the same position. We were in the same position as you are right now. And first of all, what's Redstone about? So Redstone is an oracle, so a service that delivers data to other blockchain protocols. And currently, the biggest demand is for the financial data. So all of the DeFi sector heavily relies on access to price information. Without this information, there will be like no lending protocols, no derivatives, no options, etc. So it's crucial for the whole sector have access to the high quality data, mostly about the prices. And although it might sound like super easy, what's the hassle? Like you just take a price from, let's say, like CoinGecko and push it to on-chain environment, but in practice, it's a very complex infrastructure because Oracle need to provide like 100% uptime, and we are very happy to deliver that, but also needs to merge data across like I think literally hundreds of sources, and also maintain a very rigid quality assurance. So we need to filter data, aggregate. We also need to be like super efficient in terms of the performance, like how much gas does it take to inject the piece information on chain. So that's what we do. But building this solution, we also encounter like a few challenges how to integrate with the Arweave ecosystem. And basically we needed smart contracts to run our Oracle services that will help us to organize data. So we started working on the SmartWeave protocol, which was the initial implementation of smart contracts on Arweave. Then we extended that with a lot of features and improvements on the performance, which then transformed to an SDK we called Warp. And we are like super happy that right now we'll be contributing to the AO ecosystem with Warp process.
Exactly, and this is the first time you can see term AO builders. We won't be able to reveal anything yet, but if you've got Twitter, look out for it tomorrow, and there will be more informations about AO builders incoming. And the second add-on are those cute two cyber beavers. You don't need to know right now about them and details about that. I won't tease too much, but they may be important in future in next weeks and months. Oh, and second thing, we need to tell a bit about ourselves. So, Jakub, could you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a software engineer by trade, used to work in traditional finance, so banking, insurance. And since 2016, I joined the blockchain space after winning one of the very first hackathons organized by Ethereum Foundation. So I got the bug. I quickly realized that like a super interesting piece of technology. So co-founded a startup around transparent data processing with a few of the friends I met there. So we work mostly with the public service providers like the Mayor of London office and a few local universities. Then when the COVID struck, I decided to become a smart contract auditor, starting freelance, then scouted by Open Zeppelin. I helped them to audit a few DeFi projects. And then when I was trying to launch my own project, I was looking for data feeds from the current market leader like Chainlink, and it was the most frustrating experience I ever had. So Chainlink was like super excited at the beginning, promised to deliver that in a month. Then after a month, nothing happened. 2 months, basically the same story. And in half a year, I didn't get any answer from Chainlink. So definitely that was a niche. And out of this frustration, there was an idea to create a Oracle that can scale and then can be much more flexible.
And when you look at the data, we are on the great way to reach that goal. And recently, I have seen even some statistics to showcase Redstone at fifth place in the Oracle race. So Chainlink as the number one is still to be caught, and hopefully one day. That's a great idea. And I would say that I am a new addition to the team, and I have recently joined Warp and Redstone at business development role with partnerships. And actually, I work for many different industries. So I would say that growth hacking, marketing, scaling companies, even from corporations like Boeing, GE Aviation to IT like the Dynatrace to small businesses and startups. So I feel confident. And I do believe that crypto will need a lot of growth in next years, in 5, 10 years. So I'm looking at crypto space since 2018. I love both value projects and the social impact projects, and I think that blockchain is amazing place to develop. And I think that hopefully many more teams will scale up and grow to reach 30, 40, 50, 60 people and then hundreds. So that's my background for today's topic. We've got a very easy set of questions today and answers. You will have 10 questions and 10 answers that we will ask and reply. And the first one only is semi-open. We will freestyle the answers basing on our experience, and Jakub will answer them basing on his ideas. And on the next ones, we will add our knowledge and pointers to share what we think about developing and scaling your businesses, and especially in the crypto matter. So the first question, what are the best 5 advices that you would give to crypto teams and founders?
Yeah, so that's my take. Obviously, like I'm not claiming know all of the answer. What's exciting, everyone will have their own path ahead. But if I may share like any experience from the, let's say, last 4 years of building Redstone, I'm very happy to do that. And for me, the most important one is to be resilient. So the grit resilience is really important, as there will be like many downs. ahead, many issues, many challenges, many problems, many stressful situations. So you just need to stick to what you're doing and just push through. I think the second one that took me a lot of time to realize it's like it's impossible to do everything on your own. You need to learn how to delegate. You need to learn how to trust people. You need to get more hands on board. It's impossible to build a good product alone. So that's like a super important skill, and probably the earlier you can learn that, the more benefits you can get. The third one is also like extremely important, like start talking to customers, to users as early as possible. We seem to all live in a bubble, get misguided by our assumptions, and the earlier you can validate them, you can cross-check, you can get feedback, the better. And on our journey, we realized a few times that we went to the dev end, and listening the actual real needs of customers that also tends to evolve is the only recipe for success. Also, the fourth one is probably like a bit counterintuitive because I'm giving you advice, but you should take even that advice with a pinch of salt, because there will be like hundreds of, let's say, people trying to tell you and to direct you to even opposite direction. So there isn't like anyone that know the full truth. I think everyone is subjective, and at the end you need to trust your feelings, your gut, and follow what you really believe into. So every advice has got an agenda, everyone got like a limited visibility. So it's impossible to take and incorporate all of them. And I think the fifth is really important. So it's like a marathon rather than a race. And building a startup takes years. So during that period, there is a high risk that you can be burnt out. So you need to take care of yourself. Obviously, it's important to work hard, but also to find some balance, to have a good relationship, friends, family, etc. So anything that will help you to relax, to get back to a balance in your life is really crucial in order to continue working and building. So that's my take. I hope for some of you it might be useful.
Sounds great, especially from my experience as well. I feel like all of those five advices are very important. And even when you said learn to delegate, but when you hire a person to your team and expand your team by one person, it's delegating. And if you want to have somebody do new work and you want to keep engaged with that person and waste more time, that's sometimes you will be counterintuitively working more than working less. So trusting other people, delegating as much as possible, as well as taking care of yourself, sounds perfect from as well from my experience. So let's get on with it. Question number 2. What are the key steps in developing successful crypto projects? There are 7 answers in front of you, so you can feel free to read them. And I would say, from my experience, when for example, I pitched in Berlin and APX, actual Trigger Porsche, or by different VCs in Berlin, and did my own startup activities quite a while ago. When I listened to them, they said that minimum viable product is very important for them, because they've got something that's real, something that's the case that's important, and they can interact with, they can gather data around it. So that's very important thing. And at the same time, at the beginning, I would say that the strong team. You need founding team. You need first people, because first 5-6 people will matter the most. Every additional person that's added can raise the project or put it down. Sometimes there is a person that's needed from topics like tech, marketing, or different PR stuff. So if that person is missing, the project may go down because there's plenty of great projects without a great marketing job done or any marketing job done, so the projects are going down. And from my take, I would say 2 and 4. And of course, like always in every industry, you need to watch out for VCs as a founder because they want to reach their goals and they can help and assist, but as well as that, they can destroy the projects. And uh, even I have heard a story from AI sphere that VC invested in one project with two great experts, only to take the project down after 1 year. And after 1 year, they said, okay, we can't fund it anymore. The project is down, but we can hire you guys. And the plan from the beginning was to run the project, break it down, and close it after 1 year and hire those guys because the Polish market with IT guys from AI was running low, so they needed top experts. And there are some bad VCs as well. So do your research, just like VCs will do research on you. Jacob, do you have anything on your eyes?
No, I think it's very good points.
Perfect. Going to the next one. This one is important. How do you validate the idea of a crypto project? As well as conducting market researches and any researches. If you're on early stage, even sending 10 emails to your friends, family, and fools or potential partners with asking questions, this can be done even very thoroughly. The more time you'll spend on it, the better. Of course, that's obvious. But you need to gather data to operate and make better decisions. So use as much time as possible to see if there is a solution that's already. You don't want to solve problems that are already solved, and you don't want to help users with products that won't be bought or needed. So that's the first thing. And after that, when you are developing your product, checking that even internally in your team, because everybody are already busy and they are doing their tasks, their duties, feel free to check that inside the team and gather information from teams inside as well, because even early stage founders creating their projects are already busy and they are not talking with themselves, and some problems can be solved inside team. We've already talked about prototypes and MVPs, but working on real world scenarios and real cases is the moment that you get the first client. And I think that's the most amazing part when you are both creating a business and running a team and working in a team. It's the moment when clients call to you and they ask for integrations, they ask for services, the users join the product and services and gather around you. So this is the sexy part for all of us, I think, and it's misunderstood that we are thinking about users, but those are the guys that are the most exciting, and it's great to interact with them. And getting users at very early stage for the prototype is also great. There are some amazing people that are doing relations with those people, getting reviews and recommendations. So reviews of early projects are perfect both for communications with different VCs and potential angels. This is great for marketing and setting up a simple websites. So there's plenty of different good things that we can benefit from that one. And check your competition. That's free, but that's a bonus thing for your business. There are many businesses that we all know that are just good at analyzing competition, and probably R&Ds are not as important as the departments that are looking for the competitors' products and just researching them as much as possible. I would even think that there may be some industries that we think that research and development departments are researching when they are focusing on what's already on market, and they are not creating new ones by themselves, but they are checking buying products from competition and breaking them down piece by piece. So that would be my approach.
When we jump in, it's like it's really important to look for honest feedback, and you need to sometimes dig deeper as people used to be like polite, so you may just finish on hearing some nice words, but if someone doesn't use your product and say like, it's a great product, but probably it's not the correct timing, try to dig deeper, just try to identify any issues, try to get straight honest answer, even it's like not pleasant, because that's the only way you can keep improving.
And embracing negative feedback and customers that are not interested in getting information from them. What's the negative part is absolute core of business, I would say. Let's jump into the number 4. What are the essential components of the successful crypto projects team? We've got 5 categories of them, but we all know that technical experts are the core of it, so that's the easy part. But I would say that even with 60 or 70 or 80% of technical experts inside your team, because they are creating the products and they are needed the most, there is always the stages that are crucial. I would say that business strategy in it's already included in some business technical experts. So if you are hiring somebody that's tech savvy and he is already in business environment and he's business savvy as well, he will be great technical developer and technical employee, but he will be also a great contributor, and he will sometimes say small or medium ideas that will be implemented. But overall, if you will focus only on technical aspects and not on the business acumen or even the business environment that your team came from, buying experts from your competition or buying them from special selected environment can be beneficial or can be a bad idea. So think about details. What kind of team are you building when you pick people and you after 10 recruitations you've got already a team and they had the skills, but it's always great to look at the details and make a small check to make it fit with business marketing and other areas. And number 4, especially that not many crypto startups use advisors full time inside the house. I would say that getting good advisors, not the most expensive ones, because you can spend a lot of money and waste it at the same time, but getting right people or right advisors to set up a business and to do it cheap is very important. I know that even when I did send 7 or 8 emails with different cases. In my case, it was optimizing LMS, so rather IT learning structure. So we were checking Maltese and Polish companies and regulations, and after 7 or 8 emails, not the most expensive options were the best. I could see that somebody will give more legal advices, more care, more informations, more services for less with same branding and same level of team or expertise. So I would say that it's always great to email as much as possible, because at this part, legal and marketing, you need to focus on how to say it. Mm, you need to look at the details, because you will do the operations, and if you'll do a to-do list, you will do it. You will do all the tasks, but they won't be enough. So sometimes it's not about doing the task itself. It's about the way of thinking, way of delivering the results, checking and monitoring. So we can all create website, that we can all create fan page, but if it won't fit to the market, it won't make the impact. So looking at the details and looking at the way of doing stuff is very important, and I would say that's the one thing that's important to do.
I will maybe add that when getting, let's say, the first employees or teammates, it's important to get the right profile of people. So focusing on builders, on the personalities that like to create, like to build from scratch, that can survive the lack of proper structure that can work in an environment when there are like multiple unknowns, and that like the creation instead of like the skilled and very experienced professionals from already established companies. So yeah, it's startup is more like this art of creation. So having like people who like to get their hands dirty and can be comfortable with uncertainty, it's really important.
Mhm. And I will answer to Juan, who just mentioned information that where there is no mention of human-centered designers, of course. And I will just add that these are some of the components of teams. So the ones that we wanted to articulate the most at this moment, and not all of them. I will say that the founding team, the essential group of people that sometimes two, three, four people that are inside and they get additional technical experts, but they all see and they all know that there is a solution and there is a problem that they feel that they will solve. So founding teams, not it's not the centerpiece to get human-centered designers at the beginning and the early stage, and I wouldn't call it category, but it's a way of thinking and a way of tasks to be delivered, because it's the core thing that we are solving problems of real human or real observed things that are proven or scientifically possible to be managed with current resources that team is having. So I would say that that's a good point, and great that you're mentioning that, and we can say that because humans are the centerpiece of all of that. Number five, that's the human part, and great. That's the just after Juan's information. How important is the community building in a project, a crypto project? First thing, I would say that when I checked, I don't know if you, Jacob, remember, the Redstone's community on Twitter is about above 100K, I would say. So strong,
Something
strong.
130,000.
136 last time I've seen something like that. And the community is amazing. Maybe you can share something. What's the best part about community that you have seen?
Yeah, so I would say it's like it's another extension to your team. It helps a lot in business development. It helps a lot with marketing. It opens many doors. It helps with building like the reputation. It's establishing brand, etc. So vibrant, active community will not only help you to be like more visible and get new leads, but also sometimes is the crucial element to convince your, say, potential customers that you are really like an attractive, good product.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great. When I prepared for today's presentation, I have I've talked with Wolf from our team about different ideas, and I am a huge theater fan, and there is a term in the theater that's called audience development, and the theaters, when they are running different theater groups and they've got the building and we're looking for their audience, that's a very hard thing to do. Actually, you need to create art and you need to target it to a very specific audience and current times, and they need to gather at this specific time and buy the tickets. So that's an amazing task, and that's very, very challenging. That's not scaling very much, maybe for actors, and that's the best part for them. But I would say that crypto has got lots of that in common. When you're building your audience, you need to make small steps at the beginning and think about making a first premiere shot or first opening day, and make that opening day for your crypto project. Make small influencers and get first. Jacob had to go because he's got other calls. So I would say that do it step by step. work like different businesses, be brave, be audacious, check what's working, and when you see huge rises and when you see success in social medias, you can just check what they are doing, and the marketing and business development team will monitor what's working, what's not, what's better for you, what's not that great. So I think that the indicators part and mathematics of social media and community building is great because you can see the growth, you can moderate it, you can see the response from people. If you're doing something wrong, then you will already be feedbacked and feed forward by the community. So it will be done on real time, and you'll get that in 24 hours or faster. So I'd say that community building is very crucial thing. And maybe not in all projects, but I would say that there are projects that can make their way to the market, and they won't do anything more than one transaction to VCs and founding and getting huge partners, and the product will be great. So at the early stage, I think that there is a niche that some products don't have to do that, and they can do it in a different way. But in most cases, I would say that we are at the crucial part, especially that it will grow bigger and bigger from this point. Number 6. That's the part we have discussed inside our team, how to ensure the security of your crypto project. When you're at the beginning, you won't need much because you will focus on developing and getting traction, getting customers, getting interactions. But after that, I would say that getting audit, that's what Redstone did and is doing regularly, is an important part because with security audits, it's a confirmation, and you will also get what's important. You will get feedback, what's wrong in your project and what can be done better. So just to tell you, not from Cryptoverse, when I did HR projects and growth projects inside different HR companies, I worked on ISO documentation and ISO certifications as well. And 30 or 50 people, consulting firms, had their ISO standardizations. They were not working on hardcore blockchain code. There were no situations that one mistake can destroy everything, because the mistakes had a different weight and a different impact. And even with that environment and the less risky environment, everybody were doing specific operations with time that was structured, that was working for the specific type of organization, and it went fine. Even NGOs in Poland, when we did check different ones, or in France or Germany as well, they did implement standardizations. So getting audits, getting security audits as well, and as well as updating your protocols and have using the best pieces that you can get. The bigger you are, the more risky it is to lose everything. So focusing on that when you've got the initial funding and you've got traction is a good way to go, and good momentum. This is the 7th question. What role do partnerships play in success of a crypto project? I can give you a short case from Poland. I currently live in Łódź. That's the 3rd biggest city in Poland. And one of the companies here, it's called Blue Rank, is one of the best Europe, Middle East, and Africa Google Ads companies. They are with 200 employees and even more. And when I spoke with their founder, he said that it was mostly one award that they received. They were successful already with a huge team, above 50 people, but when Google gave them an award that they are the best in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, they just skyrocketed. So I would say that this is the way of thinking about awards and partnerships in Cryptoverse. When I think about Hedera Hashgraph, I think about Boeing and their partnerships with different corporate companies. So even if you think about different parts of our ecosystem, the partnerships are important way. It's the halo effect. So think about that. There may be companies that are perfect jump launch pods for you, and they can give you huge boost, huge morale support, and reaching out to them, even if you're not able to get the partnership, is perfect, because even writing the email that will be rejected will be exciting, because you will write to, if I would make a game and I would work in game development and I would send email to Blizzard, I would be excited. And if I would do that to, maybe there are some controversies with Blizzard, but we need to remember their contribution to our society, like StarCraft 2, just just mentioning. But nonetheless, partnerships are crucial, are important. It gives you traction, it gives you boost. It's even cheaper than doing ad campaigns. So why not to try and check yourself? Number 8, how do you approach regulatory compliance in different jurisdictions? Well, I would say, especially that the four answers are here, but I would say that you need to check the countries and understand the regulations in your place and every other country that you are both working and having headquarter in. So that's just the thing to do. You will need to spend resources on that, especially time and money. But if we are operating from Switzerland and Poland at this moment, I would say that if I would get knowledge from inside of a team, I know as well Maltese, and the team knows different ones as well. So I would say that even researching and checking that is important. But you just need to do it and deliver it. I know that recently even there is a guide called Business Jesus. You can freely research him, but he received tax evasion fine, or he's got some serious problems recently. I would say last month, so it's a fresh case. And the problem with that is he bought and invested in Bitcoin at very early stage. And if you would buy a lot of Bitcoins at 2014, you would be set up, right? No, he did buy them and he didn't pay taxes, and he's got a huge tax evasion case at this moment. So I would say that it was not the best solution for him. 10 great years, not so great 10 years in the prospecting future. So number 8, think about regulatory compliance. You don't want to do it, you don't want to spend resources on it, you don't want to focus on it, but you have to at some point, and maybe even you have to now. That might be the case that you need to spend resources now, and if you have to do it, just do it and go for it, because it may be important in long run. Oh, I hope there will be something more positive at number 9. That's a positive one. What are the key factors in designing a scalable blockchain architecture? I've mentioned a date here, and it's on purpose, because I would say that every single year the cryptoverse is changing, and it's not in other industries like that. And if you will choose the right blockchain platforms at 2024, you can make projects that will have more impact, scalability, and traction. And choosing it, ensuring that there is a modularity is important. And if there is any flexibility in design is important as well. So getting those on board might be crucial. And when you're at the beginning, the more you check and test, and try to validate your conclusions and check if there are any alternatives. If you're not doing the right project on the right platform, you're not contributing to all of the platforms as well. So I would say that it's better to make a huge due diligence and check at the beginning and stress test to see that it fits you, and you will be more motivated and you will make a more mature decision than situations when people join projects without care, and they won't be able to contribute and deliver their ideas as well, so it won't benefit all of us. So work on the stress test as much as possible. Last but not least, how do you measure a success and impact of your crypto project? And there is a famous Lamborghini. No, it's not the one, because it's just brand new pixel art yellow Lamborghini here. But we all people wanted to buy a Lambo for crypto money since the beginning of times. Maybe not the beginning of times, but for stories rather recent. I would say that the more you measure, the better. You can get TVL or user adoption or any user activity metrics, or that will be the number one thing. You should measure everything that's important for VCs, because if they are looking at those metrics, you probably should look at them as well. And if you don't understand why they are looking at it, just ask them. They will easily tell you why it's important for them, and maybe you will see from their position that's important for them, and you will know that it's also important for your business because it impacts other areas. I will show in next 3 slides just a bit of things like network activity or transaction volume, and I will be back with that. But I would say that getting hard data about any type of activities that you're doing is important. We are with Redstone oracles in Oracle area, so getting metrics that are suitable is important from this perspective for us, but also the community growth and engagement levels and Twitter posts or any other interactions is the one thing that's important. Just like I said before, one partnership can elevate you to get 3 or 4 different clients. Another big client will deliver, and he will carry 20% of your volume or your metrics, however you're working on it. So I would say that's important. And getting feedback from people at the high part in your project. So if it's high ranking customers or important customers or customers with great brand, if there are any stakeholders inside, measure it, because you may be walking the great route with success, but you will feel that you're walking too slow and you will be demotivated, and you need to check that, because maybe the project is already fine and is doing great, and you just don't have enough financing, so it will be slower, but everything is on pace, and you just need to keep up the morale and keep up with the good work. So get feedback and get feed forward. Feedback forward is asking for things that you should do or should happen in front of you. So sometimes don't ask what we did wrong, but ask what we could do better. And this is just a small perception switch that will give you better answers, or different answers in this case. 3 last tips about showcasing things from Redstone that can be inspiring to you guys. Just like we said, Redstone is a project that reached over 4 billion secured assets, so TVS is quite high at the moment, and we need to know the metrics that we are doing in Oracle business. So understanding what kind of metrics are important for us at the Oracle is the momentum, and it's the part. Knowing who, in this case, the panel one customer dominance is quite huge. But you need to if you're doing gaming project, or if you're doing any kind of different projects, you need to understand what is the foundation and what are the key metrics for your business, for your guys, for your business team, and for founders as well. Because you need to measure it and be able to see the potential success and be able to correct actions, especially from founders and management and the business point of view. The second thing that you will need to do is to showcase and know your major clients. I would say that knowing who is, if you know the huge volume clients or important people, and if you understand their mentality, you will be able to attract more of clients from this segment or from this category. That will boost your case. And there's always the beautiful case when our clients, they've got their success and their network that we can to reach out together or ask for that. So this is the momentum when each can be done with step-by-step success, and it will be more interesting for all of us. And I think that using networks in cryptoverse is not utilized at the most, and we can do it much better than what we're doing right now. And third thing, I would say that showcasing allies is important, and it's both VCs and angels and whoever you feel that the allies are. I would say even if you are a partner with NGOs and operating with AGOs, or if you're giving them free or discounted access, and they can do some testing for and use the technology. Using that, be finding allies, finding maybe allies in media where not people are looking at the moment, and building that up. That might be interesting because the more the merrier, and I would say that reach out to anybody you can, even if it's impossible that he will reply. I had a couple of impossible interactions in my life myself, so I would say that it's worth taking. Just like at the beginning, we will want to finish with a quote. Napoleon Hill was actually the guy that he was inspired by Henry Ford. So the first quote is not as important as the second one. And I would say that the second quote is very important, and the important part is about working together. And working together is a success because you may want to start your business and start up or start your project and scale it, but it's about hardships and it's about resilience. When you will have problems, that's the moment you should understand that it's working, because you're at the moment when you need to counteract, you need to find solutions, you need to be excited about it, because you won't be able to, you get problems only when you are working together. And I would say that when you look at that from this perspective, that might be easier. And finally, it's the validation. And if something is working, that's great. If something is not working, skip it and work on something else. So being reasonable at the end is ultimate thing. And thanks for joining. I hope that you found that quite interesting or enjoyed it at least.
Perfect. Thank you, Matt. We are also going to do questions. Let me get you up here. We have one question in there right now, but it might be a little bit, I'm not sure if you will know the answer to this, Matt. And also, we're welcome to have any other questions. So the first question is that currently there is a generalized HTTP oracle called Orbit on AO. Does Redstone plan to provide a similar service or more specialized services? Would love to see competition in that space. I don't know if you're able to even talk about this, but yeah, you could tell us if you are able to or not.
No, that's fine. I think that it's the nature of blockchain that there is another oracle. So I think that that sounds important for the ecosystem, and competition is always one part of it. But I would say that Orbit is creating and is on a different momentum of development, and they are doing the tech solution that might be important for the ecosystem. So it's great that somebody is doing something that Redstone is not able to do at the moment, because we are working on much different projects and integrations, and we've got different approach. But we are rather thinking that we will set up. It's a small teaser that we are setting up small team that will launch activities connected with AO. It will be involving AO builders, and it will be a part that we want to boost and contribute to ecosystem and to both Arweave and AO as much as possible, and give positive boost. And just like I mentioned during the presentation, that the cyber beavers appeared in a small pond, because we think that I would say that I'm interested in development of competition. And when I joined recently the ecosystem and Redstone and Warp as well, I think that when Arweave will be at the top 10 in the CoinGecko or Coin Market Cap, everybody will need to grow up, and we will need to have 30 different organizations. People will need to do casts just like this one, because there will be growth. So the 3 people teams will have to have 15 or 20 people in them, just like in case of both community labs and Redstone, as it's growing fast. So I think that it's different problems. When I've seen as well, when I experienced, I was managing teams from 3 to 50. That was the biggest team I have managed in my life. And when you are managing 20 people team, that's whole way harder. When you are managing 30 people team, that's whole way harder. When ecosystem and alliance and cooperation of projects is having 30 or 40 people, or 30 or 40 projects and different teams, that will be much harder for all of us. And it's also on the personal level, because we will have to get the experience during this time, and there will be people that will join the ecosystem as well. So I would say that we are working on different things at the moment, and it's rather about we are open-minded and going from the competition and technology perspective. So find more from that perspective.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for that overview. We're grateful to have you guys here, and we're thankful for everybody who's participating in the program to be here. So, as always, we're excited to see how your projects develop and to help support you in building out the permanent web. Remember to get your demo day recordings of your project in by June 5th, which is, I think, for most of you guys tomorrow. And we will review them and get back to you guys. So thank you all for being here, and we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks, Matt.